Live.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and all of those other of you, welcome back to a stripped-down version of STL United Soccer Sunday. I'm Tom on 590 The Fan. We're back. I'm Tom Schwartz, and with me is Ted Williams.
And on the phone, we have the other co-host, Tom Michler.
Tom Michler? No way. Tom, are you on the phone?
Tommy, good morning.
How you doing, man?
I'm doing well. Congratulations.
Well,
How did you manage to stay in the game this long, brother?
A lot of duct tape. So how are things at New Dimension?
We're rocking, actually. I mean, right now we're sidelined, but we've got some great partnerships going on, Tom, that have really brought us forward in what we're trying to do. We're partnered with St. Louis University, St. Mary's High School, St. Louis City Parks and Recreation, which has really opened our program up to more kids, getting them involved in actual league play. So we work in the school programs, but now this also gives us a chance to get those kids on the field. So we're excited about the big announcement this week, obviously, and really like Carolyn Kimball Betts' vision. So just right now sideline. So how have you been yourself?
Tom, I've been great, but Ted has given me the scissors. Tell you what, 2 weeks, call us back, same time, same place, and we'll talk for 20 minutes.
Sounds great, Tom.
Tom Michler, the guy who introduced me to this crazy media. And I sort of thank you for that.
Hi, Tommy. Thanks.
Thanks, Tom.
Talk to you soon.
Bye-bye.
Guys, take care.
Well, surprise number one from Ted. Tom Michler, the guy I started radio with. So I had all this. Oh, okay, so I can read this one.
Yes.
Okay, it's been a big week in soccer for St. Louis, and the new name, which I publicly suggested, by the way, thank you, Jim Leeker, for remembering that. And Champions League has been unbelievable. But right now, we are joined on the Pasta House call-in line, Ted, by longtime Pasta House, longtime pal, mentor, and fellow grandpa, former CEO and Secretary General of the U.S. Soccer Federation, like forever, Mr. Dan Flynn. Dan, how are you?
I'm doing great, Tom. How about you?
Oh, man, living the dream out here with the birds, brother. So
Nice to be outside.
So what have you been up to since the last time we talked publicly?
Well, in a rare occasion, we, because of all the pandemic stuff and my immune suppression from my transplant, we got to see our grandkids from Kansas City all week. They came in Sunday and left yesterday, so that was really special. So I lost track of just about everything other than just spending time with them, which we don't get to do very much because of the pandemic. So that was really special. A lot of reading, following our sport, followed the MLS is back. Watched a ton of games. And ironically, I haven't really watched the Champions League stuff, but just because of the schedule and whatnot. But having a lot of fun, trying to relax a little bit.
The weird thing about watching the Champions League for me, I've refused to sign into CBS's whatever it is, so I've been watching them on Univision, Unimas, and Galavision, like the old days. Like the old days, when you used to have to, if you wanted to watch soccer, you had to watch Univision.
Right. No, that's right. I haven't even done that. It's just really been the schedule and, just trying to spend I guess, a little additional time reading, quite frankly. So.
Oh, it's not like you haven't earned it. So what's your take on the new announcement?
Well, I think they really got it. I think they hit a home run, using a baseball analogy. But, I think you go back and look at what that ownership group said from the get-go. It really was about part of redeveloping downtown the city. And
Amen.
That was a starting point, and I think they've done a fantastic job. And they clearly want to impact the region, and I think they've done a fantastic job on their digital side. We are, whether it's Belleville or whether it's St. Charles or whatever. And so I think they've done an outstanding job just laying it out there, being committed to what their original vision was. I like the logo. I saw it on an application on I think it was an Audi promotional car. I think it was super sharp. So I think they hit it, right in the middle of the target. And really excited about the next phase of the team, if you will. So
If you remember when she gave her talk at the announcement that Ted and I were sitting right behind you at wherever that place was, it was so exciting. She said that the one thing, I must have written it down because I can still remember it. She said, we see this as the completion of the third part of 3 iconic civic places. And she said the ballpark, the arch, the ballpark, and now, along with the arena, kind of St. Louis West. And I thought from that moment that's obviously why these folks are in the game, right?
Oh, no question. It was, I think, first and foremost, I would say it this way, civic duty is how they view their responsibility. And I think, they'll take it to the next level. They'll do all the right stuff with the club itself. So.
Yeah, you got to. Oh, Ted informs me we got 3 minutes. We're real tight today. I'm going to get you back on the air ASAP, but we are very excited to be back on the radio. You are the OG of this show. Not the original gangster, that's probably me, but you are the original guest that we had when we started this show. And I got to tell you, man, from my standpoint, knowing you has been, extremely entertaining, because nobody tells a story like Dan Flynn, which, of course, you can't tell anybody else. But
until I write my book, right?
Right. When you write your book,
We're waiting for the book to come.
Waiting for the book to come. But you have been so special and so supportive of trying to keep this thing afloat. I am truly honored to have made your acquaintance, to consider you a friend, and man, you calling today it really means a great deal to me. Thank you so much.
No, thank you. I mean, what you do is all these little things that help build the sport and I say when you build the sport in a funny way. One of the takeaways I had in 19 years of my old job is when you build a sport into building a whole network of friends.
Yeah.
And different kind of friends. You and I can sit over and not talk about soccer, but we can talk about books, we can talk about music, we can talk about a lot of different things.
Yeah.
And I think that kind of is really unique about our sport in a lot of ways.
I think a part of that is because it's so international. You may have been a kid from North St. Louis, but all that stopped when you I guess when you did the AB thing, but for sure, when you got exposed to worldwide soccer, how are you going to keep them down on the farm after they've seen Gay Paris?
I guess I've never heard it described that way, but I like that.
Put it in your book. Hey, Dan, thank you so much, and trust me, we'll be in touch.
All right, congrats, and hopefully 10 more. So,
okay.
Thanks,
brother.
All right, sure. Bye-bye.
Wow. Do I need? Okay, he turned it off.
Hello.
Hey, Bill.
Holy cow! We're keeping the hits. We're keeping the hits rolling here today, folks. We're on a tight clock. I don't know what the clock is. Ted does. I had a long introduction for Dan Flynn, but for this guy, I'm going to say this: simply Mr. Soccer. Bill McDermott, how you doing?
Hey, Tom, how are you?
Oh, man.
How's the whole crew there?
Well, right now it's just me and Ted. We're kind of stripped down for the.
Oh, I got you. Well, as you should be.
Yeah. Well, but we're not, stripped down.
It's kind of hot.
Yeah,
Don't give him any ideas. So,
No,
Bill,
no.
let's quickly go to your reaction to what we found out this week, Thursday, about our new team.
Well, the new team, unfortunately, we have to wait yet another year. But as I've been saying elsewhere, hey, we've been waiting since 1996. at this stage, what's another year? But it gives you the opportunity to get everything properly focused. It gives you a proper launch date. But the name St. Louis City SC, doubling for SC as soccer club, but soccer capital, means to me, Tom, also means to me, St. Louis City means City of St. Louis.
Amen.
They're synonymous. So consequently, that's what we're looking for. Everybody to get behind what is going to be a revolutionary concept in St. Louis professional sports. Everything in one singular downtown location. Field, training facilities, and offices. Unprecedented in the history of the league. Again, dating back to 1996. Some of the more prominent teams had never been able to pull that off. And this is going to be a meeting place 365 days a year. It is going to rejuvenate and re-energize an already, Tom, ongoing enterprise that's happening in downtown St. Louis. And what is in the forefront of all this? The sport of soccer, a place it should occupy and has occupied in the minds and hearts of all St. Louisans since 1875.
The idea of calling, of supporters being called citizens, which is what Man City does, right? If you're a supporter, you're a citizen. Of having your fans called citizens is inspirational. Of course, Bill, this is one of the names I picked for these very reasons. I'm waiting for the royalty check, but you probably have some familiarity with that experience.
Yeah, but it's going to give... Tom, we've said this before on the show, the two pillars of sport in our community have always been baseball and soccer. Now, soccer by no means, until the dawn of Major League Soccer, was never given the visibility, the front page news of the sports sheet that the baseball had ever been given. And of course, for good reason. It wasn't as popular. Not as many people knew about it. But now, it's a dramatically different scenario due to the work of Don Garber, A, and B, the dawn of soccer-specific stadiums. That's what's pushed this the current era of professional soccer. And C, really, it becoming, the league itself, it becoming an international destination point for many top players.
Right. I asked Mike Sorber, who, by the way, we're going to talk to in a few minutes. I asked him, after watching some of these MLS games, what is the language they are speaking on the field? And he basically said Spanglish.
Spanglish, exactly. Well, and just yesterday, 2 days ago, Marcolini from France's World Cup team signed with Inter Miami. I texted back and forth with Anthony Pulis. He said, I'm looking forward to see how he can improve his team. But a player like that, that's international recognition. And believe me, with Beckham being an owner at Inter Miami, that is just the beginning.
And all the Europeans want to go to A, the United States, and B, Miami.
Precisely, because of the international makeup of the city of Miami, primarily Hispanic. And ask Mike Sorber this, how mandatory it is, just about mandatory, that you cater to the makeup of your city. One of the reasons why they bring Carlos Vela aboard. LAFC games are packed every game. They're non-stop, largely Hispanic crowd, so consequently, you cater to that crowd.
Bill, I'm writing this down. We're not going to have a lot of time. Hey, this is, and by the way, Ted just told me we got 2 minutes. This is a quick call, but you're going to be joining us when we get this thing in gear, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Great.
We'll report on whatever.
Well, we're going to talk about whatever you want to talk about.
Okay.
All right.
Good.
So, Bill, we got to go. Give me a last shout about your feeling about soccer in St. Louis.
Well, we're finally, St. Louis FC began it to put St. Louis back on the national soccer map. That's what we were looking for. But to be a true bona fide contender, to get back into the overall throes of this excitement which is going on right now, by that I mean soccer in the United States, you have to be in Major League Soccer. There's only number one Major League. You're back in that league, and where you should be, because St. Louis was the first soccer capital of the United States. Maybe that's not the case anymore. Probably now. We don't know where the soccer capital of the United States is.
Just
However,
wait.
The birthplace of the sport in our country, St. Louis, Missouri, that dates back to 1875. We are justifiably where we should be right now.
All right, Bill. Thank you so much,
Thanks,
and
Tom.
we'll talk to you next
All
week.
right, Ted. See you later. Bye now.
Thanks, Bill. We got to go hard break right.
We've got to go hard break. How'd you enjoy that first hour?
Oh
First segment.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love the Michler surprise.
Yeah.
That was great. Tom
Yeah,
Michler is the guy who introduced me to this. He called me up and said, "We got to go out."
No, I heard your voice first, probably on Corcoran's show, and second, I heard it on Mind Games with Tom Michler that turned into Soccer Saturday.
Yeah. Yeah, and then Ted said, "Why don't you get such and such guest?"
Right.
Yale Averbush, as I recall.
Who was your boy?
And I
back
tried.
then?
Was it Grover?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Grover came on the same time we came on. I miss Grover.
Daddy Grover.
Matt Grover, congratulations. No one on earth will be a better dad than you.
I agree. Okay, so that's our first segment. You're listening to 590 The Fan on STL Soccer Sunday.
Well, all right, you're back on Soccer Sunday with me, Tom Schwartz, and Ted Williams on KFNS 590 The Fan and Facebook Live. We are now joined
by another special surprise.
Uh-oh.
On the video player is...
Hey Tom, Becky Sauerbrunn here. Congratulations on 10 years on St. Louis radio, talking soccer and playing some good music. Quite the milestone. Congratulations, sir. It has been an honor to be on your show a few times, so keep up the great work, and here's to 10 more.
Wow. Wow, I don't know if you heard that, and you couldn't see it on Facebook.
I'll clip it in.
But Ted just arranged to have Becky, the one and only Becky Sauerbrunn, give us tribute. Wow.
She loves us.
Wow. Wow, Ted. Wow. Okay. Hey, I'll be absorbing this for a while. On the phone with us, I have an introduction here. We are joined by another pal.
You're kerfluffled.
I am. A great player in his time, current, and it seems forever, president of the St. Louis Soccer Hall of Fame, and yet another grandpa, Jim Leeker. Hey, Jim, how you doing?
I'm doing fine, Tom. How about yourself?
Well, this has been way more enjoyable than I thought it was going to be. Ted is arranging pleasant little surprises.
You got some heavy hitters. You've got some heavy hitters in there this morning.
Well, yeah, you are included in that. We got Sorber at 10.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So, hey, Jim, I apologize for this, but as the surprises keep rolling in, we have less time even than I thought. So what I'm going to...
You don't have to apologize. You don't have to apologize. I thought you were calling to say you finally met that grandchild.
Oh, yeah, well, we did. Well, we did. Yeah, I mean, Ted has me in a state of confusion here with these surprises. But here's what I'm going to say to you. When is your next announcement for the Hall of Fame going to be?
Well, I'll probably be wanting to come on the show in the next probably 4 to 6 weeks, because we are going to be having some additional honorees. I'm not sure if we're going to do the whole gamut because of all of the honorees, but the inductees are the most important ones by far. You know, those are the ones who represented St. Louis City for their contributions to the game of soccer. So we want to make sure that we honor those people as inductees. But we'll be making another announcement probably in the next 4 to 6 weeks.
All right, Jim, Ted's giving me the finger here. So, we got to go. But you tell me when you want to come in, and you can come over to the patio. Okay?
Perfect.
All right.
You have a nice. Great congratulations on the show, and congratulations on that grand. Okay?
Hey, Jim, thank you so much. It really means a lot to me. Thanks.
Okay, Tommy.
Jim
Bye-bye,
Leeker.
guys.
Jim Leeker from the Hall of Fame. And I guess, okay. So, hey, we're rolling here today because I have a special introduction written out for this gentleman, and I'm going to read it. Right now, it is my distinct honor to introduce the man who led the United States Soccer World Cup team on the field in 1994, one of the first Americans, if maybe not the first American, to play in the Mexican League. A lengthy playing and coaching career, and now the director of soccer operations for the Los Angeles FC team. Well, I guess it's just plain, I misread. Los Angeles FC in Major League Soccer. If there were a trophy based on soccer knowledge, playing skills, and just being a great guy, Mike Sorber would win every year. How are you, Michael?
Good morning, Tom. I'm great, thanks. How are you?
Oh, living the dream. This has been a blast today, man.
Excellent.
Oh,
Todd just got a surprise shout-out from U.S. Women's National Team player, captain extraordinaire, Becky Sauerbrunn.
She's a great player.
Yes, she is.
And a great, like you, a great friend of the show. So, Mike, let's jump to. I'm going to beg you to give me more time on a later date, but for right now, I'd just like your take on what happened in soccer in St. Louis this week.
Yeah, look, I think it's a huge step and a great moment for the city and for all the people who've been waiting a long time that were a part of the St. Louis Stars and the NASL and the Steamers and the Storm and the Ambush and the indoor scene. I know we have the St. Louis Football Club, which is in the USL, and they've done a good job, but to be a part of MLS is a great thing for the city, and once this new stadium gets built downtown and the team steps on the field, it's going to be very exciting for all sports fans in St. Louis.
What do you think about the name?
I love it. I think it's great.
I do too.
Love St. Louis City. I think it represents everybody. I wish they would get rid of the line and make us all one. I think that's very important moving forward.
Yeah, I do too. I love the idea. I've said this to Dan Flynn when we were talking to him earlier. I love the idea of the fans being called citizens. And, that is given the national reputation of St. Louis for all the bad stuff, to have a bunch of citizens in the street would be a good thing, in my opinion.
Absolutely. I think anytime you can build some momentum and build new projects downtown. I know downtown's been in a transformational period, and it has a long way to go, but you have to start somewhere, and little by little, once you connect the dots, you can make something really special. So it's like building a team. You start from scratch, and then you get some owners, and then you get a team name, and then you have to put a team on the field, and it all goes together.
Well, that led directly to what Bill McDermott told me to ask you, is to tell folks how important it is for what they have been doing and what you have incredible experience with, your club, LAFC, how important it is to go into the community and build that support, which is just what you were talking about. Talk a little bit about what you have been a part of in LA, because it is simply phenomenal.
Yeah, it's been a tremendous project here. It started long before I got here. It really was a grassroots movement that started in the community. It started with a supporters group, and they're called the 3252.
Yeah.
But a lot of people went out street by street, block by block, working together to build interest to put a team in the city, because there's already one LA team here, but
Right.
they're out in a suburb.
Right.
And, so that's part of the discussion is that they're not part of Los Angeles.
Yeah.
And, they were able to get a franchise. They were able to build a $300 million stadium right next to the University of Southern Cal, which is part of the downtown area. And, once they got the first player, Carlos Vela, and then Bob Bradley, the head coach, and then he started to build this staff, and then we started to put the pieces together to build the team. And once we stepped on the field, it's been nothing but great for the city. It's been exciting. It's probably the hottest ticket in Los Angeles.
Wow.
Right now there's no fans, but
Wow.
if I go back to last year.
Yeah.
And every game has been sold out from day one, 2.5 years later. So, it's something it connects, again, the city, it connects the communities. It's very diverse and very inclusive. So that's important in today's political landscape.
Yeah. And for folks who are watching on Facebook or listening tomorrow, go to YouTube. And what's the supporters?
3252.
Okay.
They start out outside the stadium. It's called Christmas Tree Lane.
Yeah.
It's a little grass area. Really, it's in front of the Coliseum. And they start tailgating and, getting excited about the game. But when they walk into the stadium, they literally start their chants, their drum beats, and they continue that until the players walk off the field after the game. So it's incredibly inspiring and full of energy. It just makes for a tremendous atmosphere inside the stadium.
Yeah, the videos are fantastic. I want to jump real quick because I want you to tell folks who Bob Bradley, the man, is.
Yeah, he's a great leader, very strong character, very strong personality, but also, again, a great human being who's open-minded, has great respect for everyone, is a good listener, and so that makes for a great leader who, has ideas, but is collaborative and, really cares about not just the soccer players, but really the people who are associated with the club, the fans, the supporters, and the players that are part of the club. So on a human level, he's a special individual that also has good ideas about good football and wanting to put on a good show when we step on the field. So we have a very distinct style in MLS that when you watch us, you're watching LAFC.
Yeah. Hey, by any chance, did you see the Bayern Munich Barcelona game yesterday?
I did, yes. It was tremendous. So when we started our project here with LAFC, our first vision was to have some similarities to Barcelona and how they were able to be very attack-oriented and create chances. And yes, they had Messi, and our Messi was Carlos Vela. But they also, had a good way of stepping up and trying to play in the other team's half and pressure and win the ball back quickly. And, they had some dominating performances. And we've evolved that to include Liverpool, who were very dynamic. They had Mo Salah, who Bob coached with Egypt.
Oh, God, I forgot about that.
They were a little more vertical, so we also have worked on some of those aspects. And then lately we've been looking at Bayern Munich, who's very dynamic, very fluid, and they just totally dominated Barcelona.
Let me say, and you know how little I know about tactics, but the watching I did of that game, I saw something I'd never really seen before, is the force with which, and I guess Liverpool is kind of like this, every ball they hit was a fastball. I mean, they'd kick it back to the back of the midfield, and then that guy would one-touch it on a bullet to a guy who had already been running, making the long run. It was, and then when the guy shot, I didn't see a lot of soft touches by Bayern Munich. It was extraordinary.
Yeah, I think you're right about that, but I would say they do have some soft touches. I think, they don't just play one way. Yes, they're fast. Yes, everything's intense and with high quality. But even with that, they have a calmness to how they're executing the passes and the 1v1s and the balls into the box and how they finish some of those plays off. They were very impressive.
Oh man, that was incredible. Okay, that just flopped into my mind because I was going to ask you when you were talking about Mike Bradley. I was going to say Bob Bradley. I was going to say thank you, Ted. I was going to say that one could say you were describing your father, Pete Sorber.
Yeah, very much so. I think there's three individuals, and the first one being my father, who, fortunately for me, I was able to grow up with and learn from. And so there's three of the best coaches that have been here in the U.S. Two of them are American. Number one is my father. Number two is Bob, but the other one is Bora Milutinovic.
Oh, yeah.
They all have similarities in how they interact with the person and make a great connection in that way, but then also their eye for detail and ideas and how they communicate that. So, yeah, for sure, my dad is up front and number one and ahead of both of those guys, and I was fortunate that he's my father.
Yeah. Hey, Mike, Ted tells me we got to go hard break, so I'm going to ask you if we can call you in a couple Saturdays and have a longer chat.
That would be great. Let's
Awesome.
continue the dialogue.
Awesome, brother. Thank you so much, Mike Sorber, the great
All
Mike.
the best.
Thank you,
Thank you, sir.
the great Mike Sorber.
You know what? McDermott talks about pedigree all the time.
You have to speak up. I can't hear you.
McDermott talks about pedigree all the time. Pete, and then the other folks that he's been exposed to.
Yeah.
They mold you
Yeah.
as a person.
Like
Not
your
only,
coaches.
Yeah, not only as a player. They mold you as a person, as a man, as a father.
As a human being, he
Yes.
said the exact words. As a
Right.
human being.
Yeah. So,
God, I love that guy.
yeah, I enjoy every time that he's on the show. So,
Oh, man.
all right, folks, the hits keep coming. We've got another segment for you here on 590 The Fan, STL United Soccer Sunday.
All right, you're back on Soccer Sunday with me, Tom Schwartz, and Ted Williams over there on KFNS 590 The Fan and Facebook Live. Okay, now to the real deal, Ted. We are joined on the Pasta House call-in line. Pasta House call-in line by Tom Timmerman, a man who is not afraid to tell you that he hates your Faueurism, a.k.a. STL United FC. He's been a reporter forever and won the trivia contest at UCLA. Currently, he writes about some other sport for the Post-Dispatch. He's a great guy, if a little too opinionated for my taste. Hey, Tom, how you doing?
Fine, thank you, Tom. Judging from the list of guests, this is a good chance for people to go out and get something to eat or drink right now.
Well...
I just flashed up your picture.
If that didn't do it, well, that could be spoiling appetites as we speak. I don't know.
Well, remember, you were the one who said, remember there was a time when there was a radio show. What's our tagline, Ted?
The utterly ridiculous nature of the show.
An utterly ridiculous show that you bemoaned the fact of its passing, and yet here we are, like Lazarus, back from the dead.
Congratulations. That is not an easy trick to pull off. Lazarus did it once, and so, it doesn't happen all that often. So good work.
Well, man, I'm blown away, and I'm particularly blown away by the guests we've had today. And the night, I don't know if you heard, Ted Ted did a little video with Becky Sauerbrunn. She called it. I mean, come on, dog. But it feels great to be back, and I got major shout out to Jim Heuer for bringing us back.
Congratulations, well done.
Thank you. I think we're going to get back to 2 hours at some point, but you're going to join us again sometime because we're just doing quick stuff today. But I really want your take from a man who has various perspectives, I'd say, on what happened to soccer in St. Louis this week. In soccer in St. Louis this week.
Well, it could have been worse. I'll say that much.
Like I said,
I mean, there was the potential for something really, really, really bad to happen. So I'm kind of indifferent. I mean, I wish it was an actual name. I wish we didn't. I wish there was something that you could actually visualize. I guess I can visualize a city, but it's once again the scariest part actually for me was not the name. It was when Carolyn Kindle-Betts was talking to Dan McLaughlin after the announcement, and she talked about watching the team on the pitch. I'm like, pitch? What? It's a field. Well, it's not a pitch, it's a field. And so, but so it sounds like, I mean, city, I mean, it's a curious thing in St. Louis considering the city and county relationship that, I mean, we have a city that, the city does not, I think, speak to globalism within St. Louis. I mean, it's a very so maybe we're trying to work in that direction. It would be a noble cause, but it's still a little faux European.
Finally.
And I wish there could have been something with an S on it, but at least it wasn't an incredibly abstract concept. It wasn't, legacy or confluence or heritage or, something like that. And at least, and no offense to this fine program, it wasn't United,
Wait a minute. That so hurts my feelings. I should have mentioned that in the introduction. Oh, I did. I'm sorry.
But it's just that there's so many Uniteds in the league. How much more? It's like every city has Union Station for their train station.
Yeah.
It's something different for a change.
What would you think? The Blues or? I'm sorry, that's unfortunate. No, seriously, have you thought about what kind of name you'd like?
Well, I advocated for something. I mean, Stars was my choice.
Yeah.
But it's something with an S. I mean, something that is, something that we can visualize, that we can see, something that doesn't speak to some, greater gods that by having a soccer team, we're going to change the world. I mean, it's a soccer team. I mean, it's great to have it. I'm glad we have it. It shows that we, function in society, but, it's not like we have to, send some tremendous message with it. I mean, Seattle has a hockey team they named the Kraken. I mean, is that like we're now reaching out by summoning sea monsters? I mean, come on. You can have names that are just names and that are enjoyable to say and have a good symbol,
like the Celtics. Like the Celtics
like the Cardinals, like the Blues. I mean, like pick a dog breed. I mean, there are so many things. I think we get overly symbolic in life, and it could just be, something we like. Hamsters. Gosh, hamsters are cute and adorable. I mean, why not? It seems like there's so many ways you could go.
Chipmunks. Actually,
chipmunks are kind of annoying, though. I mean,
they are really annoying. The only thing more annoying than chipmunks are squirrels.
Squirrels are rats with good PR. That's all they are.
Oh, well, not around here. They shake and quake at the sight of me. These squirrels are so smart, Tom. They see me through the window coming through the door and leave the bird feeder. That's how smart they are. They're so smart that my latest device, which Ted is dying to see after the show, I know, which involves
imagine the game Mousetrap, Tom.
No. This is This is like putting a fire hose on people. And ever since I've been dying to use it, and they haven't shown up. That's how bad
Well,
that is.
They've learned their lesson. They know better.
Well-
And that's often why I don't show up.
Waiting for Godot, huh?
Afraid they'll turn a fire hose on me or something, and that's what I do.
Hey, you want to talk about the Blues a little bit?
Sure, we can talk about the Blues a little bit, but I think you need a new name for the show in that case.
What like?
And we've been known to talk about all sorts of things. We talk a lot of NBA on this.
This is true.
Yeah, we haven't talked about the NBA at all. We're not going to talk about the NBA, which I have been digging. Have you? You don't watch the NBA, do you?
I haven't had time. I'm watching hockey games from 10 a.m. to midnight every day.
So have they had any COVID outbreaks in the bubbles?
No, they have tested 0 now. They've been there coming up on 3 weeks as of Sunday, and there have been 0 positive tests. The bubble has stayed intact for the NHL.
Do you think this is what's going to be the future now?
God, I hope not. Boy, that would be. It's the short-term future.
Right.
How Major League Baseball is talking about doing it for their postseason. There's talk about within the college football or college basketball that when you get to late in the year that you would the tournament would be conducted in a bubble. That could happen, but it really is it's bad for the fan experience. It's bad for the media experience. It's bad. So we got to get out of this pretty quick.
But I don't know. Personally, I think at least it gives us something. I had no idea how much I missed sports until this.
Oh yeah.
thing.
Yeah, we need to have something. Yeah, I mean, as someone whose job is sports, I'm so glad we have sports. But
Yeah.
boy, I hope it doesn't go on in this manner very long.
Well, don't you think it's got to go through this for at least a cycle? I mean, I've often thought watching these soccer games that are empty, from England, and it's like, why can't they have at least 10 people in one of these sections that holds 200 people? Maybe auction the tickets off for charity, something. It just seems like, of course, I get, everybody's, as J.C. Corcoran told us, it's all about the lawyers. Everybody's worried about insurance and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So I guess that's a deal. But from a basketball perspective, a basketball fan, I don't know how Ted feels about this, because he is one too. I have thoroughly enjoyed the games in the bubble from the NBA, because it's like they're almost playing pickup games. And if they would employ this, what is it?
Elam ending.
You know what the Elam ending is?
Uh-huh.
They take, at 4 minutes left to go in the game. The game is normal to the last 4 minutes. At the last 4 minutes, they determine a final score, which is, I think, 7 points.
Yeah, add 7 to the leading team's score.
Add 7 points to the leading team's score. And from that point, there's no clock.
Yeah.
And it is, they have a summer league. And for a basketball fan, it's the closest thing to pickup as you can get. And as a result, it's, you don't have timeouts, you don't have all the coaching, I almost said a bad word,
which we can't say because we're going to be on 590 tomorrow morning.
Yeah, we can't do that. Although I really did a good job in this whole Facebook.
We did.
Yeah. No, not one F-bomb. We should have had Kelly Chase before radio.
He would have balanced it out.
Yeah, he would have balanced it out.
Well, if you'd like, I can drop an F-bomb if that'll help.
No, that would spoil your reputation as a anti faux Euroism, yeah. Okay, well, hey Tom, we're gonna get you back, okay?
Okay.
We're gonna be doing this for Saturdays on the time being, from the patio, and see how it works, sending it to the station, and we'll go from there. So, give us some final thoughts.
I will think of profound things to say.
Okay.
And welcome back, guys. Welcome back to St. Louis United FC Soccer Show.
God, you are the best. You are the best. I was thinking more like what you saw for the future, or some of that stuff. But I actually like that better.
Yeah.
All right?
All right.
All right, Tom. Thanks a lot.
Always a pleasure. Thank you, Tom. Thank you, Ted.
We'll be in touch.
Talk to you.
Thank you.
Tommy.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
I love that guy. You got somebody else on the phone?
You love this guy too?
Jim Heuer?
Hey, good morning. Who's on the radio this morning?
Oh, man. Well, apparently tomorrow morning.
We are multimedia-cation.
Yeah, we're multiple. And no cursing today, Jim. And I think Ted told me we got all the minutes, all the segments under 17, so...
Yeah, we're golden, baby, unless we screw it up in the next 3.
Yeah.
Awesome stuff. It's good to have you guys back, and it's just a good thing.
What are you talking about? There's nothing going on in soccer.
Hey, what's your take? What's your take on the name, etc.?
I'm a vanilla answer, but I'll tell you this. I didn't really care what the name was, guys, because I'm just happy that St. Louis finally has its MLS franchise.
Yeah.
It took a long time to get here, but you got a team. You could have called it whatever you wanted, and I just say, well, we got a team, and we can go down from years, decades down the road and watch soccer downtown. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if you just heard Tom Timmerman, but he has a little bit of different take on the name. He wants, what did he say? He wants something he can see. He wants stars. It should have been done with S, and it should have been something he can visualize.
You know, it's funny because there are people, I don't want to label them as non-soccer fans, but people that are new to the game, and they go, well, you got to have a mascot, right? You got to have something. And really, you don't. You just got to have a team. You go down there and root for your team.
Yeah.
And in time, it'll be a part of what St. Louis is.
The nickname is TBD. I mean, the supporters really dubbed the team a nickname at some point, correct?
If they don't take Citizens, they're idiots. That's all I can. No, I mean, come on. This is a great tradition. It's an attempt to be part of the game. I mean, I love Tom, and I totally respect his opinions, but as he points out every time I talk to him, he doesn't like our faux Euro STL United thing. He's anti-faux Euro. And I like him for that, but to me, I would root for, well, I don't root for Man City because I don't like Man City, but I'll root for these guys. I like the name.
I'm okay with it. I really am. And in time, it'll become, I don't know, maybe become City, short for the people here in town.
Yeah.
But it'll grow on everybody. I mean, think about this. If we did not have a baseball team or a football team that was here called the Cardinals, let's just say they came out and said, it's going to be the St. Louis Cardinals. You go, well, why Cardinals? It has nothing to do with St. Louis.
Right.
But it becomes part of the culture.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
I think that was kind of the push by people who wanted legacy, you know, and all of that, which is, to me, I think that, personally, I think there's too much of that in St. Louis. I think we need to think about what's going to make this work is if the now large immigrant community embraces it. Yeah. And I think they will, because I think these folks are reaching out to them through guys like Vin Co.
It's a part of the old and the new soccer traditions coming together, and it will mesh forward and move on. Yeah. That's what it's going to be, and I'm just glad to see it finally get here. We still got to wait 3 more years till we play, but we're moving forward.
Yeah. Hey, if they hire Mike Sorber, Tom's going to be wearing St. Louis City pajamas.
Oh, you bet. Undies.
I like that. I like that.
If they would hire Mike Sorber, I'd probably become a groupie.
That will be an interesting take on what the organization decides to go in terms of direction with the on-the-field product. Is it going to be, some ties to St. Louis with a Mike Sorber? Chris Klein is pretty happy with the LA Galaxy, but maybe he's a guy that comes to St. Louis. There's a lot of names.
Amen.
We know all the traditions.
I heard your name. Hey, Jim, we got to go. Our boss told us we got to keep this at a certain time.
I like it. Good.
Thanks.
Welcome back, boys.
Thanks, man.
You got it.
All right.
You have been listening live via Facebook to 590 The Fan, STL United Soccer Sunday.
Bye-bye.